All right, welcome to the Live Music News and Review podcast. I'm Kara Karma with Live Music News and Review, and Simon Says Booking, and I am today joined by Tor Krautter. Sorry, I'm like stumbling over my words today. Of Rev Tor out of Western Massachusetts, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
And after a little bit of technical, like a lot of technical difficulties, we've made it. Blab is very wonderful when it works. But today we are talking about Tor's project that, how long has, well, we're talking about The Last Waltz Live and your recreation of the band's classic concert film, The Last Waltz, and in various locations, and specifically upcoming on next Saturday, the 21st, in Oneonta, New York, at the Oneonta Theater. You're going to be doing an awesome rendition of The Last Waltz Live. And but how long have you been doing these in various locations?
It's been what, 4 years, 4 or 5 years. We started it right after Levon Helm passed. The first one we ever did was actually a tribute to Levon, and that's the whole thing got started. We had so much fun. We did it in our sort of home base area of the Berkshires. We did it at the Colonial Theater in what was that, 2012, I guess. And we used all local performers for the special guests. We had so much fun. We thought we should keep doing this. And how great would it be to take it to different towns and use like the local music scene for all these special guest parts? And that's kind of just how it happened.
You keep talking about we. Who are you putting these on with?
Well, when I say we, I mean the Rev Tor band. You know, we started it together, and it's basically the Rev Tor band, and then we bring in a horn section, and it's the core band, and then special guests.
And how do you meet all these special guests? Where are you finding them?
You know, it's a process that has evolved. It was tricky when we first started. You know, we were lucky the first couple times we did it to have some inroads to the local music scene. But, you know, I got pretty savvy using social media and YouTube, and Reverb Nation's a great resource. I do all the casting pretty much online. And then we have we've developed this artist toolkit that once cast, they can go in and learn all their parts. And we have like practice demos and chord charts and all the stuff that they need to learn the song. So,
wow, it's so involved. It's so much production.
I mean, it was a lot of work putting it all together. It's all kind of now in place, so it's pretty easy to do at this point. But it took about a year to get the whole formula together to really, you know, make the whole show run the way nice and smooth and the way it was supposed to, you know.
So like you said, it's been about 4 years since you've been starting.
4 years, yeah. Yep.
Wow. And this Saturday, what are some of the guests that you have this Saturday?
Yeah.
Who are some of the guests you have?
I don't know. We do so many of these. I'm drawing a blank, but we have let me bring it up. I can tell you. We have.
How many of these do you do a year?
You know, it varies. We did the first year. We did like 16, I think, and then the next year we did a few less. And this year we're trying to, you know, get more under the belt again. We're trying, you know, ideally we like to do 1 or 2 a month. So for Oneonta, we have Mark Puckett, Darcy Gibson, who's pretty. He's in a great band in the Oneonta area called the Justice League, and they do this really cool thing where they recreate different albums, classic albums. and we got Sherry Gage and Ned Brower, Mary Doherty, Rob Norris, Pam West, Steve Dillon. So it's from what I understand, it's a pretty good lineup. Sort of local, regional Oneonta lineup. So, and that's what's so cool about it. I mean, I don't really know any of these people, but they sort of invite us into their music community for one night, and we get to know what it's all about, and we get to learn what it's all about, and we're really lucky in that respect. It's pretty cool.
Is it very local? Is it very like Oneonta? Is it not just like New York, but is it very like
Yeah,
specifically Oneonta?
this particular one is very Oneonta, yes. And
Yeah?
it depends where we're doing the show, and where we can draw from. For example, we just did a show at Bethel Woods, in Bethel,
Mm-hmm.
and there's really nothing there. There's no real music scene that we could find. I mean, maybe there's something there, and somebody might not be happy with me saying that, but we did our research, and so what we did was we brought all alumni in to do that one that had played.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we have to reach out to the area a little bit, and we have a lot of alumni that have done the show, so we have a lot of people that we can call on if we need to fill a spot that
Mm-hmm.
we're not able to from the local community. But we try to keep
Do
it as possible whenever we can.
what kind of practice do you have with these people that like a lot of times you've never met before?
Yeah, so that's kind of where our artist toolkit comes into play. We give them access to chord charts and lyrics, and then we give them a practice demo, which is basically us, like the karaoke version of us playing the song without their part in it, and they can.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of practicing with us. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we know the stuff on our end. I hope so at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives them the opportunity to practice the song with us, and then we do a run through in the afternoon before the doors open, usually at the theater or wherever we're doing it.
Cool. You guys just had your 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
That's quite an accomplishment.
Well, we're calling this year our Too Stupid to Quit tour.
Where are you going on your stew-tupid?
Not very far,
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
you're stew-tupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're too stupid to quit tour. That was sad. Um, but appropriate for me. Um, tell us about the band and your origins, your sound, for people who aren't familiar with you.
Sure. Well, we started in '96. My buddy Dan Broad, who plays bass in the Rev Tor band, and I were in a cover band together, and I had started writing a bunch of original material, and we were looking for an outlet to do that. So we sort of started the Rev Tor band as a side project, and recorded a CD, and that's kind of how it started. And then eventually we just realized we wanted to do that a lot more than we wanted to do the other thing. So like a lot of young bands, we did the road thing. We played wherever and whenever we could, and tried to get out there as much as we could. We ended up doing I think we did 6 CDs total over the last 20 years. The last one just came out last year. And Dan and I have kind of been the constant in the band. We've had a lot of people in and out. And I really sort of, attribute that, all the people in and out, to sort of how our sound developed. We're pretty eclectic, I think. We like to cover a lot of ground when we play. We don't like to get stuck in one real genre. I mean, I guess you would call us a jam band, but we love to play bluegrass. We love to play funk. We love to play reggae. I get bored easily, so.
Isn't that kind of the definition of a jam band? Is like a band who loves to play everything and then
Sure. Yeah.
and then play it for a long
Well,
time for.
and a collective of people together, and everyone's bringing their own influences to it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
That's
so
the
we
good
just try to
stuff.
cover as much ground as we can when we do a show.
Hmm. Um, and the name. I mean, obviously your name is Tor. Is that just very simply where it came from?
So, so a friend of mine had me ordained as a joke. Uh,
Really?
yeah, and this was probably before the internet, so I think it was like the back of the magazine ad kind of thing, and you'd send in a dollar to this church that would ordain anybody for $1. And one he didn't tell me. One day I opened the mail and I had my credentials in the mail, and it said,
That's a
"Congratulations,
fabulous joke.
you're now a reverend." And I was all about it. I thought it was hilarious, and I brought it out that night to whatever show I was doing, and I was going around showing all my friends. And from that point on, everyone just started calling me Rev Tor. So
Love it.
that's
That is like a very, very good story for a band name. There are so many really bad stories for band names. That's a fabulous one. I love it. You are quite the producer and are producing some other shows this summer.
yeah.
Uh, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that before we finish up?
Yeah, we have I'm gonna be a buddy of mine and I are gonna be putting some shows on at Bosque Ski Area this summer,
Mhm.
and we're calling them the Shire Mountain Rambles. Um,
Is that for the Shire?
well, yeah, the Berkshires,
What is?
it's
Oh,
our
the
shire,
Berkshires. Oh, is this your Shire? I get
right?
it.
We like to call the Berkshires the Shire,
I get it.
and
Which will have Rebel Alliance coming up soon, pretty
yeah,
soon, right?
the kickoff show is going to be us with Rebel Alliance,
Hmm.
and
That's right,
then
you with Rebel Alliance. Yep.
and then
Duh.
we're gonna announce the rest of the shows hopefully in the next couple weeks.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cool space. It's this great pavilion, uh, about a quarter of the way up the mountain, and it just opens up to a big field. It's just perfect spot for a summer evening concert. So people love Bosque, so it's going to be a fun time.
Cool. Sounds good. So why don't you tell us again a little bit about Saturday, and then we'll finish up.
Yeah, Saturday, the Last Waltz live at the Oneonta Theater, with a stellar cast of Oneonta artists that are going to do all the special guest spots. We're excited. We're looking forward to it. I guess Oneonta Theater, is it .org or .com? And they spell theater the funny way. So Google it, you'll find it. And tickets are moving, but there should be plenty of tickets still.
It is .com. So,
Okay.
yep. And of course, the fabulous Rev Tor band. So, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, Tor. And thank you for powering through our technical difficulties on Blab. It was worth it.
Well,
This was pretty cool, right?
yeah, as long as it's out.
I appreciate you taking the time and dealing with all the issues. And I look forward to seeing you at Strange Creek. That should
Yeah,
be fun.
absolutely.
We'll do
Thank you so much.
some different live streaming there. So we'll be Live Music News and Review is going to be doing some Facebook live streaming all weekend long. I.e., I will be doing live streaming all weekend long. So we're going to catch up with you there,
All
and
right.
we'll catch part of your set there. So anybody who sees this video, you should definitely follow Live Music News and Review on Facebook. And the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, follow us all weekend, and we're going to be doing all kinds of good streaming from the Strange Creek campouts in Greenfield, Massachusetts. So good night. Thank you very much. And I'm going to stop recording now.
Thank you so much.